trademark donuts. Here he goes. It'll be the first time he's done them in the DP01. How can he get them done? Oh, not quite as tight. Okay, he's starting to get there. He's got a bit of work to do, but you know what? I've got a feeling this won't be the last time, I should say, we see Sebastian Bourdais doing donuts in this car.
I think not. He came away from Las Vegas saying, we had the worst weekend I can ever remember. He said after Las Vegas, where he crashed both in qualifying and the race. It was his worst ever qualifying position in the Champ Car World Series. He started 16th on the grid, and as we said, he didn't go any better in the race. He had a couple of punctures earlier on, and then he crashed out of the race as well. So very few points for Sebastian Bourdais last weekend, but he's put that to rights, and he will vault well up the order in the championship standings. I think it will still certainly be Will Power who leads the points, leaving today's race and going on to Houston next week. But it's still been a great effort by Sebastian Bourdais, and he's going to treat the crowd down there in turn 7 as well. Getting pretty good at these donuts now, Sebastian Bourdais, mind you, with all the experience he's had with that over the last 4 or 5 years. It's not surprising. It started off fairly damp croissants, they were widely termed, rather than donuts. But just another great drive by Sebastian Bourdais. He won, of course, the final race of last season in Mexico City. That was a 23rd win of his career in just 60 starts, and the winning percentage he has in the Champ Car World Series is just absolutely amazing. It's over 38% of his race starts results in a victory, and sure, he is with the best team. He's more in turn 9. He's certainly with the best team in Champ Car racing.
Sorry, Jeremy, he stalled it. He has stalled his car. The crowd is loving it, though. Who cares? Race is over. His job is done. They're going to try and get him push started there and bring him into victory lane.
He won't be too disappointed with that, I'm sure, Sebastian Bourdais.
Rookie, who stalls? Come on, man. How many times have you done this?
Yeah, 24 times now, Sebastian Bourdais. Close to the 40% win percentage. Just absolutely amazing. Even Michael Schumacher in Formula 1, he won 91 of his 249 starts in Formula 1. The winning percentage of 36.5. The all-time great, of course, Manuel Fangio won 24 of his 49 starts in Formula 1. Almost shy of 50%. Half the races results in wins. But it's been just a great performance once again by Bourdais. And let's take our hats off to Oriol Servia. He steps in for the Indian PT and brings that 4-star championship racing car home in 2nd place.
A brilliant drive from the seasoned veteran there in Oriol Servia. I don't think anybody can be disappointed with what he's done there. And Sebastian Bourdais pulling himself into victory lane.
Look at, while we're waiting for the winner's interview, let's have a look at what happened a little earlier this afternoon this morning, in fact, in the Atlantic race. Or not, as the case may be, sorry about that. But Sebastian Bourdais there, it's Billy Camphausen there, the terrier of the Champ Car World Series. He's been with these guys for well over 20 years. He helps the drivers get themselves unbolted. There's Cathy Lauderback, the PR person for Newman Haas Lanigan team. And Paul Newman is not here this weekend. He was driving one of his GT1 cars at Road Atlanta a couple of weeks ago, and they got a new exhaust system on that car for Paul Newman, and he was overcome a little bit by heat exhaustion. And at the age of, 83, I think, Paul Newman, they thought he'd better have a good look at him at the hospital. So he was advised not to fly for a few weeks. So Paul missed the race last weekend. He's not here this weekend, but he's got all his friends to relay the good information.
Well, and Bill, there's a celebration. This team certainly deserves it after the week they had last week at Las Vegas, a struggling week. Sebastian told me it was one of the worst weeks of his entire career. What a comeback, and all the hours this race team put in this week, getting this car ready to come here and try and win their 3rd straight Long Beach race. What a comeback for you guys. How gratifying is that after the rough week you had last week at Las Vegas?
I guess everything that could happen to us in Vegas happened, and here the Magnus car already showed what it could do. And I can't thank these guys enough, because really they worked their tails off. They worked probably until midnight last night and woke up at 4 to get ready, and it's just unbelievable the hours that they put. So it's all to their benefits, really.
Tell me about the hairpin on the last restart, and is that one of the most dominant performances of your career?
I think we definitely put on a great show today, but it's true the last restart was a little, you get a lot of pickup, and once you get to that hairpin before the last restart, it's very slippery. So I really made sure I was going to slow down very much at the apex and get a good jump, and it worked out pretty good.
You took the week to drive here kind of to clear your mind. Your guys, however, worked very hard. I know you're proud of them and the effort they put in this weekend.
Yeah, it's yeah, like I said, it's all theirs. You know, they worked so hard, and all winter it's been like that. And you know, that Panos is not easy to put together, but they've done it.
3 straight Long Beach wins for Sebastian Bourdais.
Yeah,
Bill?
just a tremendous performance there. It's down to Cameron Steele with Oriol Servia, who again another brilliant run for the Spaniard, and he wasn't. He came to this weekend.
Yeah, it was a good way. I mean, on a restart there, something happened to the gears. I couldn't get first, so Alex went past, and then I think Justin got me when we were out on cold tyres. So it was a race where we just kept following people. We had the pace. I mean, if we hadn't lost that, I think we would have been able to give Sebastian a bit of a run for his money, but, you know, good on him. It's a good fight for the championship.
Take us back to the beginning of the race, the first lap, the first turn. What's going through your head?
Well, Sebastian went early, which is really good, and he spread the field out to prevent any sort of incident in the first corner, and, you know, I wasn't up to sort of screw him over in the first corner. We just went in and just started the race. It was really event-free.
And that's the way we like it. Nice job today, Will.
Thank you.
Let's go to Cameron Steele.
Well, Bill Stevens, the man that really showed that he was ready to go. Unfortunately, Paul Tracy not able to race here today, but Oriol Servia coming with the goods. You've got to be very happy with that day.
Well, yeah, how many times I have to show that I'm ready to go? No, I did a great job, but nothing compared to what the team did. You know, I had to adjust to the car, but at the end of the day, I'm a race car driver. The team had to adjust to me. They gave me a fabulous car, great pit stops, and to be honest, I had pretty big shoes to fill today. I mean, I know PT would have tried in the last restart to go for the win. I tried, but I couldn't do it. I'm just really, really happy to finish second, and I thank very much the team and Mr. Forsyth for trusting that I was going to do the job.
Definitely doing the job today. Oriol Servia, second place.
Yeah, it's a great story for Oriol Servia. As I said, he came here not thinking he was going to drive, and he wasn't even going to go to Houston because he doesn't like being a spectator at these races. But he hopped himself in that car. Took a little bit of time to get him up to speed, but great strategy and great drive from Oriol Servia brings him home to a second place finish. Sebastian Bourdais, of course, yet another victory. Tagliani was pipped onto the podium there, we believe by Will Power, and I think the order should be Will Power, Justin Wilson, Alex Tagliani, then Bruno Junqueira, Neil Jani, Brian Rahal, Ryan Diel, who got past Catherine Legg in the final stages of that race, and then rounding out to the final finishers, Tristan Gomendy, Dan Clark, Robert Dornbosch, Matt Halliday had a problem in the closing stages, and Alex Figge we also saw in the wall heavily. Mario Dominguez not quite so heavily in the early stages. It's been a fascinating race, and some great performance obviously by Bourdais, but that drive by Oriol Servia, stunning.
I think that's something that we're going to remember for a long time. He is the super sub. Now let's hope he can land himself a full-time ride. I think he's done what he needed to do to get himself back into that seat for Houston. Fingers crossed for Oriol Servia. Let's take a look at the point standings after the second race of the season. Will Power, of course, on top, and Alex Tagliani up into second place.
Yes, indeed. A couple of top four finishes for Alex Tagliani. Bruno Junqueira for Dale Coyne Racing in fourth, and Bourdais vaults himself up from that first race disaster in Vegas to get himself up to third in points. Justin Wilson.
We've had a pretty difficult weekend in Vegas, and ended up with a gearbox problem in the race, so it put us out, but we're struggling anyway. So this weekend things are started off steady, but we've slowly improved it each day, getting better, and you know, everyone has worked really hard on this car and done a fantastic job, so I'm just very pleased to get a fourth place out of it, start the season off and get up there for CDW, because they've been great supporters, and you know, I just want to do well and finish on the podium next time.
Good run today. All right, guys, back to you.
Yeah, it was a good run for Justin Wilson, and you can see the probably relief more than anything else in his voice. He struggled in Vegas, he struggled in the early part of this weekend, but that pass on Alex Tagliani in the late stages will have been immensely satisfying for Justin Wilson. Let's have a look at the rookie points now, the Roche Fans Rookie of the Year standings after 2 races, and as we can see, Neil Jani there is perhaps a surprise leader in the standings after 2 races, a 9-point advantage over Graham Rahal, who comes away with a good result this afternoon. And then Ryan Diel in third place, Tristan Gomendy, Robert Dornbosch, Simon Pagenaud, who actually had a very good run this afternoon, particularly in the late stages. Yeah, okay, he made a mistake earlier on in the afternoon, came back onto the track and did get that extra bonus point for the fastest lap of the race. He turned a 1 minute 8.594, which is 0.3 of a second quicker than Sebastian Bourdais managed. So hats off to Simon Pagenaud.
He's doing a really, really good job, and you can't forget that he actually had a podium potentially on the cards in Las Vegas before mechanical failure. So look for him to kind of move up the rookie points.
Let's have a look here at the remaining races here. We'll go next weekend to Houston, Texas, the same track as we had last year. They made some, they smoothed out some of the bumps there, we are told. Then on to the classic venues at Portland and Cleveland. Another new event there, Mont Tremblant, the Saint-Gervais road course. The race in Zhuhai, China was originally scheduled for May, now brought back to later on in the season. And of course, we'll finish off the season in Phoenix, Arizona. So all sorts of great racing action from a variety of racetracks to take place later on in this season. And it's been a fascinating afternoon here in Long Beach. Certainly Sebastian Bourdais has been the class of the field, but James, a great view here of Long Beach and a very exciting event.
It's an exciting event, has been since the first time they ran here. A lot of good action all the way down to the last lap. That's the kind of racing that Long Beach produces. Really glad to see it here.
Yes, and the Team Australia, again, another very, very good performance. There's been all sorts of sideshows here, but it's all about Sebastian Bourdais. Ultimately, he was the class of the field this weekend. I've got to thank all our pit reporters this afternoon. We had Marty Snyder, Cameron Steele, Bill Stevens and Michelle Beisner. Some of the throws might have been messy, but we have to rely on the domestic broadcast. My thanks also, of course, to James Hinchcliffe here in the booth. He came off an Atlantic race this morning, finished in 7th place there. Alex Figge seems to be okay after his accident, but it's been a fascinating afternoon's racing, and we'll be back with you in 1 week's time in Houston, Texas. My name is Jeremy Shaw. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you then.